get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey.
Wow, that was lovely, beautiful, amazing. Thank you so much. It's going to be a good day. Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa. And thank you again to our wonderful band for opening us up and enlivening us with music. I'm Chandra Farnsworth and I'm happy to be with you today. If you have questions about what's happening at the center, we have a website, CSLSR.org, just filled with useful information. There you'll find our monthly bulletin by clicking the photo of the typewriter on our website. It contains everything happening throughout the month at our center. We are passionate about spiritual education at our center. And if you are wondering what classes are coming up this year, please pick up our education catalog at the information desk. There you'll see all the classes and workshops through June this year that will be available to help you navigate your own spiritual journey. And Reverend Russ will be available in the social hall in between services if you have any questions. We offer a youth and family program for infants and toddlers, elementary and middle schoolers, and teenagers. Our program helps your children and grandchildren connect with our community and grow on their spiritual journey. There are a number of ways that you can be a part of the youth programs. Simply send an email to youth@cslsr.org and our youth coordinator, Jennifer Caldwell, will provide you details. Now would you please join me in speaking aloud our vision and mission as a community. The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling vision of a healthy, loving world, which we call the Global Vision. This vision inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our program and teachings. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. We follow this vision through the 5 core spiritual practices of our teaching. Would you please read those with me also? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, spiritual circulation. We would now like to extend a warm welcome to our first-time visitors. First-time visitors, please stand as you can or raise your hand, and we will bring you a flower and a packet as a token of our welcome. And if you're watching online for the first time, let us know in the chat. We are so grateful to have you. I know that somewhere between the music, meditation, prayer, practices, and Dr. Edwards' message today is exactly what you need to experience for the next step of your spiritual unfoldment. You are welcome here. Now please enjoy some music before our short time of silent contemplation and prayer.
Living Spirit, I am grateful. Loving Spirit, I am free. So many gifts upon my table. Loving kindness is to me. Living Spirit, I am grateful. Loving Spirit, for the way, for this rich, abundant living every single day. And I give thanks for the knowing, and I give thanks for the way your love is overflowing every time I pray. And I thank you, God, for one good day. Living Spirit, I am grateful. Loving Spirit, I am free. So many gifts upon my table. Loving kindness is to me. Living Spirit, I am grateful. Loving Spirit, for the way, for this rich, abundant living every single day. And I give thanks for the knowing, and I give thanks for the way your love is overflowing every time I pray. And I thank you, God, and I thank you, God, for one good day.
There is only one life. It is the divine energy that simply flows in, as, through, and surrounding the universe and beyond. It goes by many names. It is Spirit, it is God, it is Ma. But by whatever name it goes, it is simply love, infusing all. It is that spacious wholeness that holds and enfolds, and it is whole, perfect, and complete, no matter how it looks. It is in every word, in every thought, in every action, and it simply is active, fearsome, and yet patient, waiting to be realized. I am united with that spirit, with that divine energy, as each one in this sanctuary and on stream and beyond. Each of us is a gift, graced by God, graced by Spirit, to carry that divine energy through us to the world, making it a better place for all. I accept for this moment, for this service, a sense of community, a sense of knowing what is ours to do, a sense of knowing love infusing us beyond belief, beyond what there is that we can see into the universe. And I simply know through the message, the prayer, and the music that community feeling is here right now, in, as, and surrounded by that divine energy. I give great thanks for this time, and I simply release this word into the law that always acts as it is directed. And together we say, and so it is. Good morning. My name is Peggy Weber, and I am a prayer practitioner here at the center. Would you please join me in speaking the affirmation that's on the board in front of you? I am creating a world that works for everyone, and so it is.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, and you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. Rivers running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world, and a bold world for me. the pine. You know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I feel so good. I feel so good.
Well, goodness me. Thank you so much for that beautiful musical inspiration, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for that song. You know, in addition to being a song about feeling good, this song is also a powerful statement about overcoming adversity and finding the joy and the strength to keep on going in life. It comes from a British musical, The Roar of the Grease Paint and the Smell of the Crowd. And it's a commentary on social injustice and inequality. It's a song about the spirit of resilience and the energy it takes to stand up against oppressive systems. That's what the song is about. So thank you for that. It's the perfect song for today. Today I want to share with you an idea that comes from Dante, the Italian poet and philosopher. And the idea I'm going to share with you was very important to President John F. Kennedy. He quoted it, I believe, more than once, as did Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. when he spoke, I believe, in the 70s or the 60s in New York. And it was in a sermon he was giving, and he was speaking out against the war in Vietnam. And he also used the quote. However, the words that these two great leaders used, that they quoted, are not the actual words from Dante. They're a kind of general interpretation of what Dante said when in his works, one of his works, he was describing the fate of people who stay neutral when it comes to dealing with good and evil. Now, before I get to the almost Dante quote, I want to share with you that this whole topic is, well, it strikes a chord in me, especially when I get to think about social issues, human rights, injustices, and the conflicts in our world, and how that intersects with our spirituality. Because some sincere and beloved members of our very own community have expressed to me their preference that we keep our spiritual community free from the topics, preferring that the center be a sanctuary away from the world's conflicts. And I have empathy for that. These are people I've known for a long time. And at the same time, it creates a dilemma for me, because my role is to uphold the teachings of science of mind and to interpret the global vision that we read about, the global vision of our organization that describes a world in which we bring our spirituality into every aspect of life and not keep it separate and apart. So our spiritual work, as I see it, is to get deeply connected to our inner self, to the seat of compassion within, and then to let it guide us in everything that we do and say and think, so that individually and collectively we are moving daily and definitely forward in the direction of the vision, because we are letting ourselves be guided by the values inside of the vision, the values of unity, collaboration, equity, equality, forgiveness, and compassion. What is a minister to do? Now, those of you who have been around a while, you know that we love sometimes to sing Jill Jackson Miller's song, the Peace Song. How we love that. Maybe you even know the lyrics from memory. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Oh, it strikes a resonant chord with us because it matches the sentiment in the global vision, you know. Let it begin with me. That is a crucial and central part of our teaching. And it has the same resonance, the same sentiment that is attributed to Mahatma Gandhi, words that he didn't actually say, but which we quote often. Be the change you want to see in the world. A phrase that should likely and correctly be attributed to the social innovator Arlene Lawrence. Yeah. A woman who has a website that believed that if children growing up in a rough neighborhood had an oasis of calm and acceptance at school, it would improve their lives as well as their learning, and they would bring these positive benefits out into the community every day when they left school. And she started something called the Love Project so that she could be the change she wanted to see in the world. Arlene, not Gandhi. Okay, well, let us get back to the peace song. And then after that, I'll get to the almost Dante quote. So let us first look at what the peace song does not say. It does not say, let there be peace on earth only for me. Now, the song is not a political statement. It takes no political sides. It is rather a visionary, an aspirational statement of oneness that resonates with us. And still, the lyrics challenge us because they say, let us walk with each other. And that's the part that we struggle with. The walking with each other part, especially when the walk that other people are on is painful and frightening and difficult and oppressed. Then how do we walk together? One big family, we sang a moment ago. What is a spiritual being to do? What is a spiritual being like you and me to do? What should a person who is motivated by the vision of a healthy, loving world and a person who embraces the interconnectedness of all life, what should they do about social issues? And I think knowing the answer to that will surely lead us to feel good about our spiritual lives and our personal integrity. And yet the work of getting to that clarity is what doesn't feel good. It's hard. There is a phrase in the global vision that can help us, I think. It says, we see a world in which people live in alignment with their highest spiritual truth. Now imagine if it said, I see a world in which people live in alignment with my spiritual truth. No, that can't be right. That's all wrong. I was talking to a friend about it. We were joking, and he said, I don't know about a world that works for everyone, but I sure know what a world that works for me looks like. And in that world, everyone does exactly what I want them to do. And that's exactly where the trouble is, isn't it? Right there. because I have to think about you. I can't be so tuned into my good that it becomes a me-only world. So my idea of a working world has to be large enough to include you, and that's tricky business. The problem with trying to make other people live according to my spiritual truth is that it doesn't work. We just need to look at the world to see that it isn't working. And we have centuries of history to draw upon to see that. And we don't even have to look that far away in time. We could probably just look close to home in a circle of friends and family and ask the question, what happens when people think only of themselves? So the question on my mind today is, how does my highest spiritual idea help me to treat you with dignity and respect? How does it help me do that? And while I'm figuring out what my highest spiritual ideal is, can I walk with you? Can we hold each other's hand? And if you fall down, will I extend a hand of help to you because my spirituality connects me to you and demands that I do that? So the way I see my work is that it's for me to get so tuned into my spirituality that it affects my choices, not yours, that it impacts how I treat you. That's on me. And if my spirituality causes me to look the other way when you are suffering, I question that. I've been thinking about how I can be selective in, I think it's called selective outrage, Sometimes I struggle with that, When I look away and when I don't. When I care and when I don't. When I get upset and when I don't, I was reading that some people are really upset about how Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie were snubbed by the Oscar nominations committee. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I think they've got some very valid points about patriarchy and unfairness. I think so. Just in reading it, something felt dissonant in me to be so focused on this issue when in the same world, at the same time, miscarriages in Gaza are increasing astronomically due to the lack of medical supplies, when thousands of women and unborn children are at risk right now. I read about it in the Washington Post, which is typically a news source that is rated kind of in the center of bias with a somewhat left-leaning. I check that because I want to also read diverse points of view to inform my own bias. I like to read different perspectives. But anyway, on January the 21st, there was an article over there that reported that the war in Gaza is making childbirth a nightmare. Delays in the delivery of life-saving supplies have left some hospitals performing cesarean sections without anesthesia. On the website, I saw a video of a baby being born in Rafah. Now, the mother, her name is Wala, I think that's how you pronounce it. Now, she didn't expect her fourth childbirth to, be a big deal or to spark fear, but it did. Because medical supplies and food were barely none, gone. And she was tended to by her uncle outside a tent in the dark with nothing but a cell phone light and tin cans filled with hot water to keep the new infant baby alive. There's a video. Now, I have to ask myself, will you look away? I ask myself, Edward, as someone of this teaching, wouldn't you be inclined to be a voice for the protection of the vulnerable? And I have to believe that the answer is yes. Now, I still haven't mentioned anything political. I'm just taking in this information. I'm checking it and double checking it as best as I can. And then matching it to my beautiful global vision. And matching it to the science of mind teaching that has guided my life for over 40 years. And wondering, what is a spiritual being to make of it? How can I walk with the wallahs of the world to peace? I can understand why people don't want to think about it. It's awful. I can understand why one of my colleagues has made his center a war-free zone. He doesn't talk about it. But for me, it feels like I'm walking away from my conscience when I look away from the pain of the world. And I'll be honest, and I'm sure you may find a point of agreement, it is exhausting. So I also know how important it is to stay spiritually, emotionally, physically, and mentally well. These days, taking care of our well-being is very important because it is essential to our ability to cope. It's our well-being that enables us to function as compassionate hearts and to be able to make meaningful contributions to the world. And to do that, we have to restock our inner resources. You know, when I'm running on empty, my ability to cope and respond and contribute just diminishes. So to me, spiritual living must include daily mindful self-check-ins. Am I creating personal sanctuary and adequate rest every day? Am I taking breaks from stress? Am I setting and respecting personal boundaries? Do I pay attention to those feelings of fatigue or unease? Am I prioritizing rest and nutrition and hydration and sleep? And not so that I can tune out from and forget the world, but so that I can be strong enough to face it and meet it. Now, back to that global vision statement. I want to play with the words a little more. How about this? I see a world in which I live in alignment with my highest spiritual truth. I had to think about that. What is the high truth that I align with? And what does it cause me to do when I align with it? Last week, we had our first AIDS Life Cycle Team bake sale. I want to thank you for all of that support. Do you know there was a time when very few people would even touch somebody with HIV, let alone walk with them? So I'm very grateful for the outpouring of support, you know. And I'm reminded also about the time when I was training to do the 545-mile ride myself with the team. And on that training is when I learned that riding a bicycle that far is more complicated than it seems. Because not all bikes are the same and not all bodies are the same. Apparently, you got to get your bicycle fitted to your specific body measurements. Otherwise, you can end up riding out of alignment. And when you do that, for 545 miles, 7 days a week, it can really hurt. Yeah. And it turns out that even a quarter inch out of alignment can really mess things up if you don't tend to it. Because over time, it really causes a problem. I'm thinking about that in the message today. Oh, a little bit of anger is not that bad. A little bit of dishonesty, a little bit of indifference to the world, a little bit of selfishness, not that bad. A little bit of this and that. But when I practice it into my soul and normalize it, and I let it go on and on and on over time, it can really cause problems. Just like riding the wrong size bike. Once I was on vacation with a group of people and we picked up some rental bikes. And rental bikes is one size fits all. And one of my friends fell right off of the bike when she was going up a short hill because her center of gravity was in the wrong place. Just like when I'm tuned into the wrong stuff, or when I'm tuned out of the important stuff. So my work, the way I see it, is to seek out as best as I know how, using all the spiritual tools at our disposal in our spiritual education, seek out my highest spiritual truth, and then to the best of my ability, daily tune into it, and then live in alignment with it so I can ask, how does it influence the way I show up in this world? How does it inform me so that I handle my relationships and my business and my commitments? And how does it help me respond to the 10 to 20,000 deaths in the world right now through war? All right. Now it's time to get back to the almost Dante quote. The one that impacted President Kennedy and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But before I get to the quote, let me preface it by saying, I do not believe in a physical hell. And I have not read or studied anything in our center's literature that speaks of or teaches about a physical hell. Rather, we have this idea that hell is a state of consciousness that you and I experience in this lifetime when we depart from the center of our inner self. When we deny our compassionate heart. When we deny our connection to others. And when we deny the creative power that resides within us. Here's the quote. The hottest places in hell are reserved for those who maintain their neutrality in a period of moral crisis. That's all. So what is a spiritual being to do? I don't know what you're supposed to do, but I'm sure of this. That a person who is attracted to this teaching would likely want to be a voice for the protection of the vulnerable, no matter what their race, their religion, their politics, nationality, gender, age. And it is also very clear to me, this is my personal part, that the least I can do is to keep the conversation alive so that those who are suffering are not forgotten or swept under the rug of time as the world's attention moves on to the Oscars. I close with this advice from our founder, Dr. Holmes. What we need to do, and what we will always be doing, is to express more and more of the divine's nature through ourselves. This is the endless pathway. This is the immortal and eternal endeavor. The continual upward spiraling of our awareness of the divine as us. A greater knowledge, a greater experience, and a greater expression of the divine is always our goal. I love that. And I use that to build the bridge into our time of prayer together. I invite you to breathe in with me And to exhale as you let your eyes close. As we link to the words of the opening prayer, there is only one, whatever it is, life, one creative energy, one power. One that has always existed, exists now and ever shall, was not created and cannot be destroyed. And whatever that is, I am part of it, as is each person in this auditorium and everywhere. And through this unity, I recognize my kinship with all that is and feel my solidarity with life wherever it expresses. And I let my heart feel the resonance to that presence and through it to all that is. I realize that this power being everywhere present means right where I am. And so I turn within to what I call the center of my being to discover it anew every single day, to be refreshed by it, to be renewed by it, to call upon it for direction and instruction and guidance so that it may continue to open my heart with bravery and courage to feel the world around me. And in so doing, I find no loss of autonomy, no loss of agency, but instead an increasing of empathy and compassion and a flooding in of understanding and power that comes from the resonance of oneness. And so as I speak this word of prayer, I realize indeed it is like planting seeds anew. So that in this moment and every moment to follow, there is a growth within me that takes me on the path of righteousness in my connection to all, in my love and appreciation. And all the time I remain aware of my ability to care for and nurture my inner life. I value it and I trust it. I protect and nurture it so that it may be the fountain, the presence, the foundation in my world that causes me to stand up strong and take my place in the community of beings. In deepest gratitude for this and for all that flows from it, I release this word of prayer, and I invite you to help close it with me by saying the words we always say. And so it is, followed by a deep breath in and an exhalation into a moment of quiet contemplation. And again, a breath in, followed by an exhalation. So that we may gently and mindfully move into that part of our service where we practice circulation. I invite you to think about your contribution to this service by, first of all, your presence here, your kind words and thoughts, your prayers, your volunteering, and of course today through your financial support is very meaningful and important to us. That we together are co-creating this center so that it may stand as an oasis of spirituality for those people who feel like they are refugees from other faith traditions or of no faith tradition. So I thank you for helping create this experiment in spirituality. I invite the ushers to stand while we think about the ways that we can contribute, including the ones on our website, or also the ever-increasing text to give, which is quite fun to do. We'll leave that sign up there, so in case you wish to experiment with text to give, you can do so. Just text a message to that number, and it will guide you through the process of registration. And now won't you please say after me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world, and so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
I am open to my good right now. I am open to good. I am open to my good right now. I am open to good. I am open
to
sweetheart.
I am open to my good right now. I am open to good. I am open to my good right now. I am open to good. I am open to good. I give thanks to my good right now. I give thanks to my good. I give thanks to my good right now. I give thanks to my good. I give thanks to my good. Oh, I give thanks to my good. I give thanks to my good.
Thank you so much. Did you know that our west parking lot is now open and available for your parking ease? Yeah, hot off the press here. Please consider parking there and telling your friends about it. There's plenty of room in the west parking lot for you. And on Sunday, February 11th, we have a pre-Valentine's event. We'll be making Valentine hearts with messages of love for our youth. We did this last year, and it was so sweet and well received that we're doing it again. Please bring your favorite Valentine baked treat to share so we can snack together while we dream up words of affirmation for our children. Do you enjoy reading? Imagine a great book and a cup of tea on a rainy day. It's a really cozy combination. Looking for a new book or perhaps an entirely new genre? We have an event for you. Sharing our books will take place Sunday, February 18th in the social hall between services. Bring your already read books and take home any books that speak to you. You can drop off books on Sundays at the info desk or on Monday or Tuesday at our office entrance. All books are free, whether you bring books or not. And by the way, this event isn't just for spiritual books. All literary genres are invited to participate. I'm excited to announce that our center is hosting Kirtan Master Mangalananda today. Join us at 4 p.m. for a full Kirtan concert from Mangalananda, right here in the sanctuary, as he helps us all remember the spirit within through his inspiring music. And the music doesn't end there. We are bringing back Karen Drucker for a sweet Wednesday evening Valentine's Day music and spoken word experience on Wednesday, February 14th at 7 p.m. We love Karen, and I know this Valentine's Day event will be filled with love, music, poetry, and community. Speaking of Wednesday evening, if you're looking to go a little deeper with our Science of Mind teaching, our Wednesday evening service is for you. In each service, we share spiritual inspiration along with spiritual exercises and practices you can use to discover your own spiritual path and stay connected to the divinity within. This Wednesday, Reverend Sayota will be speaking about grace and how grace can guide us when times are challenging. And we will also have tea, cookies, and freshly baked bread, along with guitar music from Reverend Russ. I hope to see you and your friends. Dr. Georgia Prescott will be speaking with us and sharing her workshop, Just Say No to Graceful Aging, on Sunday, February 11th. This is going to be an inspiring workshop for those who want a new, more positive way of thinking about the later years of life. You can sign up on our website by clicking the photo of the nose, and that's N-O''S. Finally, have you ever taken a good look at your own mind and wondered what the heck is going on in there? Have you ever wished that your mind had a map that could follow? Do you want more ease and flow in life? If so, join Reverend Russ starting Monday, February 26th at 6 p.m., where he will guide us in creating a map of all the various parts of our mind and share guidance on how we can use that map to better know ourselves while freeing our compassionate, courageous inner self. This class will be transformative, and you can sign up on our website by clicking the photo of the Lego man holding a map. And that's all for me. I think we have a video now. Have a good week.
Greetings. The wonderful Center for Spiritual Living Santa Rosa is continuing to support an AIDS Life Cycle bicycling team, which is starting to train for this year's event, which goes from the San Francisco Cow Palace to Southern California's Santa Monica Beach from June 2nd through June 8th. The AIDS Life Cycle is a beautiful, wonderfully supported event in support of the San Francisco AIDS Foundation and the Southern California or Los Angeles LGBTQ Center. If you're a bicyclist, we are enthusiastically seeking additional riders to train with us or participate. If you're not a bicyclist, there are still many ways to support the cause. For instance, you can be a roadie and help with camp breakdown and setup, transportation, road safety, food preparation, bicycle repair, and many, many other ways. If interested, talk to Linda Hand at the info desk or send an email to info@cslsr.org. Thank you for considering supporting this beautiful and worthwhile cause for the common good.
If there is something that is incomplete in you, or if you cried yourself to sleep last night, or if there's just something in your life you'd like to have more of and celebrate it, then please don't go home without taking advantage of our various prayer support offerings online on Zoom. The information is on our website, or in person, go to the back of the auditorium and the host will connect you with a prayer practitioner who will listen to you and custom make a spiritual mind treatment, which means an affirmative prayer especially for you. And now won't you please stand, saying something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you are guided, sustained, and empowered by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. I look forward to seeing you next week when we start talking about divine discontent, I think. Oh, I hope that's wrong. But I'll be here next week with you. Thank you so much for being here. Now let us close in song.
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace.
I am a stand for peace, let there be love. I am a stand for love, let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now.